And welcome back to another episode of PC419. It's been a while since I've did a video. Reason being is that Victoria, or Melbourne, Victoria I should say, here in Australia, has COVID-19. We've had severe lockdowns, which has pretty much stricken me to actually come into the studio and actually do some work for my current reviews and the current list that I've currently got here. I have still been working, which has been good, but unfortunately studio time had to be cut down very, very short. We are slowly getting out of the COVID-19 restrictions, but hopefully within the next month or so, you should be seeing a lot more videos coming out of the channel, which I can't wait for, and I've been hanging for you guys to actually see what I've got here at the studio as well. But let's talk about today's review. We'll be talking about the AORUS FI27Q-P monitor. And one of the reasons why I wanted to push this review out pretty quickly is particularly reason being is having the new NVIDIA cards being released and also AMD's new GPUs being released at the end of the month. I thought it'd be very handy to have, well, people will be buying GPUs and graphics cards and out there upgrading their systems, but are they upgrading their monitors? Let's check out this one, see if it's worthy of your next upgrade, and see what the price point is as well, and what my personal points of view on the actual monitor, if it's any good. Personally, I've been using it for a bit now, and I am enjoying it for its price point. But guys, let's get straight into the review and find out. Okay, so let's look at some of the key features of the monitor itself, as well as what I think is probably one of the best things to have with a monitor that is not able to give you pretty much all the information you want, as well as giving you the data that you need without going behind the monitor, pressing the little joystick there, and you can actually control this all in Windows. Now, this is called the OSD Sidekick. Now, we can see here is you can give you display settings. You can change all the settings in your display, what you like. You can actually add hotkeys, get your general settings as well. You got your ANC for your noise cancellation. So if you do plug in your headset to the monitor, it will actually give you the noise cancellation if required. Now, going back to the display settings, it does give you some of the options to actually go from AORUS settings, FPS, you got RTS, RPG, monitor, you've got reader, standard, and you've got sRGB. Now this monitor is 165 Hz and an IPS monitor as well. It does have AMD FreeSync, so it is G-Sync compatible. There is no G-Sync module in this monitor, because otherwise you'd be looking at about a $2,500 monitor, even a $2,000 monitor, Australian I should say. But it is an IPS with AMD FreeSync, as well as giving you as much as the key features as well. So I'm looking at this monitor on the side view here. You guys can see it from there. And being IPS, there is no glare. Like before, I can actually probably stop seeing the monitor itself or the actual whatever's on the screen. It's probably about here, which is very far away. So going right across, it's giving me great viewing angles. Now this monitor can be turned 90 degrees, so you can flip it over. It does have 20 degrees side to side movement. It's got -5 going down and then about 21 degrees going up as well. So if it's sitting right in front of you, you have got the capabilities of adjusting this monitor as much as you can what you really want it to. But what we'll do now is that we'll go straight into the specs of this monitor and let you know what it actually has in there, and then also the I/O. We'll get some B-roll going with that. But so far, I'm actually liking what I'm seeing, so I hope you guys are enjoying it. Let's get straight into it. So let's have a look at some of the specs of the AORUS monitor. So it is a 27-inch. It is an IPS backlit panel. Has a non-glare surface on the front of the screen. The color saturation is a 95% of the DCI-P3. The resolution of this is 2560 by 1440. It is Quad HD. The brightness type is a 350 CD-M2. Now the contrast ratio on this is 1000 to 1. The dynamic contrast ratio is 12 million to 1. The viewing angles is 178 degrees height and 178 degrees vertically as well. The response time on this is 1 millisecond at 165 Hz, which is actually really good. It has got flicker-free technology. And now let's have a look at the I/O on the back of this. So this is where it's going to be most important in most cases, where you would need the best of the best in regarding to HDMI, USBs and so forth. So on the back of the I/O, you've got your Kensington lock, you've got your headset jack, you've got your microphone jack. Now this one does have 2 HDMI ports, so it's got HDMI 1 and HDMI 2. Has display port, has got your USB connector on there as well, and then you've got 2 USB 3.0 ports, which I find a fantastic feature on this monitor, having 2 USB 3.0s, because most obviously the accessories you've got and peripherals do run on USB 3. Some do run on just standard 2.0, but I would prefer the 3.0. So then you've got going back to the specs as well, so the adjustments for this. So you've got pivot adjustments of tilting angle between -5 to +21. You've also got your swivel between -20 to +20 degrees, and then your pivot adjustment goes to a max of 90 degrees, as we discussed before. The height adjustment of this monitor itself goes up to 130 mils, and it is VESA wall mounted as well. And what main also too, apart from this, is the net weight is about 8 kilograms, and gross weight with the box is about 11.9. Now, the good thing about this, what comes with it in the actual box itself, it comes with the power cable, HDMI, display cable, and it's got the USB cable here as well. Now, the thing I like about this monitor particularly is it has no power jack on there as well. So there's no power brick at swap. It's just a standard PC plug-in here as well. So whatever you plug into your PC to your power supply, it just uses the same plug on this. So the power unit is actually inbuilt into the monitor, which I find is a great feature. You're not having other wires hanging around. ASUS have a really bad habit of actually putting external power bricks, which I don't mind because you can actually put it away, but preferably for me, I would rather have the power supply in the monitor itself, and you're just plugging that one single cable straight into your wall socket, which I find a better feature for me. Plus, 9 out of 10, if you happen to lose something as well, is you've actually got plenty of those cables at the same time. The only pros and cons of actually having an external power brick, the con part of it, it's something you've got to tie up and lock around. But the pro part of it, if it does happen to let go or not work anymore, your monitor's still safe. Go and buy another power brick from the brand you bought it from. If it's from MSI, if it's from ASUS or so forth, you'll be able to actually replace the power brick and get the monitor going again without sending the whole thing over to warranty, which is probably a good and bad thing, depending how you feel about that. But personally, I do like having just a one plug go straight into the wall, and then you can just cable manage that cable at the same time. I think what we'll do now is that we'll get into gaming and see what it's like and how it actually is in gaming. We will try some Valorant on this. I have tried a few other games as well, which I've fairly enjoyed. They actually does look really good on this. But we'll do some FPS gaming on here, see what it's like, and we'll see if it's actually capable of taking 165 Hz at really high fast gaming. Okay, so where we're up to at this stage of the review, we're going to be looking at the pretty much gameplay on this and what it's like. The monitor's got any screen tearing or flickering, which it has got anti-flickering technology on here. It's 165 Hz. It's at 1440p as well. So at the moment now, I'm just checking out Valorant and to see if there's any screen tearing and how the gameplay actually is, but it looks so smooth on here. And obviously, as you can see here, we're running at about 200 and probably 300 FPS. We are only in practice mode here because I just wanted to check out what it's like and what the gameplay is like here in a non-multiplayer environment. You will probably get roughly about the same anyway on this game. This game won't take up much of your GPU, but the reason why I selected this game is because it's pretty much like CSGO, and I wouldn't say Call of Duty, because obviously Call of Duty's got a bit of it's got more frames and will take more of your GPU power, but we're only looking at what it looks like on the monitor itself. So I'm not looking at what specs I've got and so forth from there. I just want to see how it looks on the monitor, and I've got to say, AORUS have done a very, very good job actually bringing this monitor into the market and actually bringing what it's actually color saturation and everything else on here. Absolutely looks fantastic. You guys can actually see it on the screen. You can see that there is absolutely no screen tearing whatsoever. I've also got, we'll be having some of its key features set up in regard to what I've got here. So it's running at 1440p. I'm running it in FPS mode at the moment using the OSD Sidekick software, and it feels like it's actually running pretty good. Like, I really can't complain about that. So gaming wise on here, I don't think you guys would have any issues using the AORUS F127Q-P monitor as your next gaming monitor. So what we'll do now is we'll finalize the review up. We'll see what the prices are roughly at this stage. It is October 2020. Let's get some prices here in Australia and give you my final thoughts on that. Let's go. All right, so what are my final thoughts of the AORUS gaming monitor I've got here? So currently they're going for about $1,000 Australian. So whatever that currency converts over to your country, you have to convert that over. Now, is it worth it for $1,000? For the key features you get being an IPS monitor, 165 Hertz, 1 millisecond. You've got pretty much 2 HDMI, you've got display, you've got USB 3.0 on here. It is AMD FreeSync, so it is G-Sync compatible as well. This one is compatible. And probably the key feature I've got on here is the power plug as well, which is probably one of my favorite things to be honest out of this monitor. And also having the OSD sidekick. So it is literally an all-in-one feature that will give you the pretty much good color saturation. It is 1 millisecond and also has the on-screen display that gives you control it in Windows, because it is annoying sometimes going back to the joystick and actually trying to do your settings up and so forth, when you can just go into settings, into Windows, go into the software, set up a profile if you wish, and have it set up all the time. Now, for $1,000, there is other monitors out there, probably slightly cheaper. I did a review on another monitor of another brand as well, which is it's probably very similar spec to this, but it has USB 2.0. So you are paying for a bit more, but it was also a VA panel. Now this is IPS, so you are jumping up one more as well. So AORUS have done an actually great job actually configuring this monitor for its price point. So it used to be $1,059 Australian, but now it's dropped down to $1,000 because monitor is probably having a bit of its age. But the reason why I wanted the review on it is particularly because people are buying new graphics cards out. So it doesn't matter if you've got AMD or if you're buying NVIDIA and you want to go 27-inch and you want to run 1440p, this monitor will actually suit you well for your needs. But guys, you let me know in the comments and what you think of this. Is this monitor set for you? Would you want 1, 2, or 3? I've actually got 3 27-inch monitors for my main setup at home, which I absolutely love. I actually, particularly, if I could get 3 of these, I wouldn't mind using 3 of these as well. So for me personally, for my recommendations, if you were looking for another monitor that wasn't $2,500 to $3,000 and it was roughly in your price range of $1,000 and less, I should say right now, I would definitely recommend the AORUS FI27Q-P monitor for you guys. Right, guys, let me know in the comments below what you think. We'll have all the links and URLs in the description as well. But guys, thank you, AORUS. I want to say thank you to AORUS once again for sending me out this fantastic AORUS monitor for us to review and check out and see what it's all like, and actually have a bit of a play with at the same time, because now it's got to be boxed up and be sent back to AORUS for maybe another reviewer, or it's got to go back to HQ, one or the other. But guys, thank you once again for joining in, and guess what? We're doing a lot more videos coming up very, very soon, so do stay tuned for that. Join our Discord if you want to jump into our social medias as well. We'll have all those links in the description below. Well, thank you once again, and guess what? I'll see you next time.